It is time for the entry of the sprightly posing Pride Troopers. That's right everyone, Dragon Ball Super episode 101 rolled along and, oh, I was particularly proud of this episode. The Impending Warriors of Justice, Pride Troopers. Oh, I already feel that this episode is going to be my jam. Before we begin, I would just like to say thank you for all of your support. This channel has now surpassed 200,000 subscribers. To celebrate the fact, I've launched a new type of t-shirt, in fact 2 of them, showing the MasakoX logo, so that means you too can show your support, or if you just like the logo because it looks cool, why not? I'll include links in the description about where you can actually purchase this via Teespring. Right. Let's get to the review. Where we last left off, we had just witnessed Kale going on a massive rampage, which was only silenced by the even more silent Jiren of the Pride Troopers. As the title of this episode would imply, we are going to get some Pride Trooper action, so maybe we might get some dealings with not only him, but maybe some of his crew, because we've yet to actually see them in anger. I mean, we saw one of them get beaten up by 18, but I'd like to see more of the crew. Thanks to the unique way the Gods of Destructions deem build quality as acceptable, seriously, I thought the stadium was meant to be unbreakable, it gives Kale and Caulifla an opportunity to escape amongst the rubble. However, we have to throw in that age-old trope that is amnesia, because Kale doesn't remember a thing when she went berserk. All of this carnage, it's down to her. And I'm not talking about the carnage that has been wrought in the community thanks to how people have actually received Kale. Well, at least Caulifla's continuing her trend of being supportive towards Kale, so I guess there's progress on that front. Meanwhile, Goku is trying to increase the word count that is exchanged between him and Jiren from 2 to Topo. There's Topo! Oh, okay. The mustachioed hero of the Pride Troopers swoops in and then launches another Justice Flash. Now one of my favourite moves in Dragon Ball, it just looks so satisfying to use. And we are led to believe that Goku is done for. But if you think that, then you've not been watching Dragon Ball for that long. Goku's fine. This is just a diversionary tactic, and sure enough, Topo and Jiren then escape using the Justice Flash as a distraction. Goku's just pushed aside, so that means we can focus on the Pride Trooper B team. Ooh, cool, okay, this should definitely be interesting. It's kind of pointless to use the heavy hitters this early in the fight, so okay, that makes sense. As Goku is completely unscathed after being hit by several tons of Kachin, as well as his clothes being completely non-scuffed, he comes across his Saiyan cohorts from Universe 6. Before he can get away in edgeways though, in comes the Pride Troopers, led by Casserole of all people. Ooh boy, okay, this is gonna be good. However, it's only Casserole that actually gets to have a descriptor before his name in the Pride Trooper roll call. Usually everybody gets this, but it's only him. Alongside him, we have Topper, Zoire, Cocotte, and Kettle to round off the team. They only get to say their name, but we do get the accompanying explosion of colour that is all too common in Super Sentai and Power Rangers. Okay, that wasn't bad, but next time, make sure that everybody gets to say a line of dialogue before their name, okay guys? Tupper recognises Kale as the girl that took out Vuon, one of their comrades earlier on, and Casserole will not have any of his comrades being knocked down, and they will get their revenge upon their comrade. There's the flamboyant dialogue I was missing. Where's Goku in all of this? Well, he's just kind of off to the side, confused about what's going on, saying, So, are we fighting now, or? Shame on you, Goku. No greatness when you see it. Goku thinks that Caulifla and Kale are no match for these guys, but he seems to have forgotten the fact that Caulifla and Kale can do just fine. He just witnessed their power maybe 1 or 2 minutes ago. Has he forgotten it that quick? And yes, I know the short answer is yes, he's Goku, but surely that was really mighty. That was Super Saiyan Berserker. You wouldn't forget that in a hurry. I think just even going Super Saiyan 2 would be enough to waste most of these people. Instead of being Kale's boss, Caulifla is actually acting like her manager slash hype woman by pretending that, ooh, Kale could go Super Saiyan Berserker at any moment by hiding behind her and go, ooh, look at me, I am Kale, I am super scary, I could go Berserk at any minute, ooh. That was actually kind of funny. And it's also kind of heartening when she actually says to Kale that she's proud of her. Aw, that's sweet. Meanwhile, Roshi has been separated from the Universe 7 Super Fortress and has to deal with one of the goons from Universe 3 on his own. Enter the Preacho! Yeah, that is his actual name. The Preacho. You didn't mishear me. But Roshi's actually got it under control because he then uses the Turtle Style Last Resort on one of these fighters, and in comes Tenshinhan to finish the job with a Shinki Koho. I'm really impressed. Soon enough, Piccolo and Gohan rejoin them and the full team is regrouped. Even Frieza's chosen to chime in at this point, actually getting some head-to-head discussions with Murochim of Universe 10, a little too close to home with a head-to-head there. Vegeta then shows up behind Frieza, reminding him not to kill this person, and it kind of acts out like a schoolyard playground fight, like, "Give me back my toy, Frieza!" Finders keepers, losers weepers, Vegeta. We are into the 5th episode of the Tournament of Power proper, and it's now where some of the fighters' stamina is beginning to dwindle. And really, this is just a cue that 17 and 18 are going to figure in this episode majorly, so yeah, just count down the minutes until they actually show up, they will. Until then, we have to see Tupper give Goku a big hug. What is it with Goku and hugs in this arc? He just seems to be vulnerable to them all the time. And once again, we hear that old trait, "Oh, you let your guard down." I've heard that phrase in this arc so many times it's just lost all meaning. How come these expert martial artists let their guard down so often? They're just a bunch of amateurs. However, Tupper isn't just another generic fighter. He does have a pretty interesting gimmick. He can increase and decrease his weight at any time, going from light as a feather to as heavy as a bunch of boulders in an instant. He's either going to be making sure that Goku can't escape, so that means one of his buddies can actually attack him, or he's going to go straight through the arena and take Goku out with him. That would be actually a legitimate move. And yeah, apparently Goku once again has forgotten that he can go Super Saiyan. And don't give me that fact that, oh, Goku's just measuring his energy balance. Come on, just going Super Saiyan for a couple of seconds would be enough to break the bond, surely. Meanwhile, Kettle from the Pride Troopers has been keeping Caulifla distracted by doing a sort of Hellzone grenade-like attack, which means that Caulifla's distracted by all the barrage of attacks going in her direction. But instead of Caulifla trying to escape, she just seems to take it and scream in agony, which means Kale goes, "Oh no, Caulifla!" Speaking of Kale, she runs out to try and help her comrade, but instead gets trapped in another dimension by Cocotte. Whoa, sorry. But just saying that statement, "in another dimension," I've just been reminded of the Pioneer dub. Oh, my nostalgia senses were tingling right there. She is stuck inside that dimension forever! Or at least until Cocotte's knocked out of the ring and therefore it's negated. Well, either or, whichever comes first. As predicted, 17 and 18 have indeed arrived to actually redress the balance of 5-on-3 to 5v5 of Pride Troopers versus the Saiyans. And this is all without Kasserole realizing, because once again we are reminded that 17 and 18 don't emit energy, so therefore they are effectively untraceable, which shocks Kasserole greatly, but to us it's just like, meh, they're just rocking it. Nevertheless, we are actually getting to see 17 and 18 fight together for the first time in ages. Ooh, I'm so excited. Kasserole wastes no time by showing he is a pro Pride Trooper by breaking out his Justice Sabers. I would be more excited right now if we had not seen a similar attacks like this so many times in Super right now. We have Vegito, we have Goku Black, we had Zamasu, we had Dragon Ball Z Sauza. Yeah, I mean, it's still a cool attack, but it's nothing new, Kasserole. Get your game up. As he's duking it out with the twins, the mood says something which actually kind of concerns me, and it concerns the Pride Troopers' integrity. According to the official subtitles, Kasserole is a pro who has conquered many planets in his day. This really worries me, man, because I really love the Pride Troopers. I don't want them to be evil. I really hope this is a double bluff and this is just Toriyama and Toei and Shueisha subverting everything like they often do. Kasserole, the battle pro, seems to think that 18 has fled the scene out of fear. Yeah, he doesn't remember the fact that they don't emit energy and she could be anywhere at this point. Yeah, so much for the battle professional. As Tupper is crushing Goku, 18 then just appears and blasts him in the back, effectively just going, "Quit it, quit it, quit it." He then actually gives up and then retreats back to his friend Zoirei, going, "Oh my god, she's so ruthless, man! She hit me in the back like 3 times! Oh, that's savage, man!" Ugh. That's totally savage. Yeah. Positively wild. 18 just picks him up like a toy and hurls him away. He manages to stop before he falls out of the ring, but then remember, he's got that weight. He can't actually last that long, and then the ring just gives way, he falls off. Yeah, bye-bye. Kasserole returns with Zoirei and Cocotte to then refocus their efforts upon the 2 weaklings from Universe 6 that they think are weaklings, but they actually are not. Cocotte then creates a magical dome so that no one can interfere with what's going on right now, and no one can see how deceitful the Pride Troopers are being. They've got to protect their image, remember. We then get our feels tugged once more as Caulifla protects Kale from more damage, even though Kale is in another dimension and therefore can't feel damage, so the whole task is pointless, but damn it, it looks cool, so I'm gonna roll with it. But yeah, you know where this is going to go. Kale is going to get emotional, her powers are then gonna flare up once more, and yep, here we go. Kale has indeed managed to control her berserker-like powers in a combination which means that she can keep control, but also keep her powers. Unaware of the powers of the Super Saiyan, Casserole and his crew then unleashed the United Justice Stream. However, Kale's not quite in total control just yet. She's got a bit to learn, because as Caulifla's giving her yet another pep talk, she taps into the full berserker power, her eyes go white once again, but okay, she's not going totally mad yet, she's still pushing in the right direction, still doing what we're supposed to do, but yeah, it's kind of working too well, that pep talk. And we still get an awesome friendship blast that results in Zoirei, Casserole and Kettle being knocked out of the ring, and Cocotte being sneaky creates another dimension pocket for herself so she escapes that initial onslaught. Oh yeah, we're 3 Pride Troopers down instantly. If you think Cocotte's going to be around for much longer, don't worry, I'm pretty sure that Dragon Ball Super is going to address the balance shortly. Thank you, 18! The episode ends with Goku letting Caulifla and Kale escape, so that means they can regroup once more later on in the arc. But nevertheless, we gotta focus our attention from Universe 11 to their twin universe, Universe 2, with Brienne de Chateau being the main draw, with her eyes that glow. Is she a robot? Is she a magical girl? We'll have to wait until next time to find out! All in all, this episode took a little while to get going, but once it did get going, it proved its worth. It also threw in some intrigue concerning the Pride Troopers. We all thought that they were truly good guys, the goodest of the good, but actually they may not be as rosy as we think. I want to see more before I actually come to any kind of conclusion, but still, that little seed of doubt is now there. The animation in the first half was a little stiff, but once again, in the second half, things started to loosen up and we got some really cool visuals. So, it was a little slow to begin with, but it did pick up, and I am glad for that. It turned out to be a really good episode, but I think we'll get a lot more fluidity in episode 102 when Universe 2 come into play properly. But anyway, that was my review for Dragon Ball Super episode 101. Tune in next time for indeed my review of Dragon Ball Super episode 102. Until then, be sure to like and subscribe. Catch you later!